there, everybody.
Oh, wow!
Hi there, everybody, and welcome to Roll with Advantage. My name is Joe, and welcome to session number 44? 43 of the Salamander Coast. Sorry, we're getting so high with each session now that it's hard for me to keep separate, like, which campaign is at which number. Boy, do we have a doozy in store for tonight's session as our party. Well, they have just gone through the ringer in terms of, well, the events of the last session. But I won't spoil those at all because that's what... Oh, that Josh Guy Live. Thanks for the follow. That Josh Guy Live. I really appreciate that. So we're going to go ahead and dive in here. We're going to roll the intro, and then we're just going to go ahead and get started. So, yeah, let's go ahead and roll it, and we'll see you after the intro. All right, and we are back. By the way, thank you, Jamie, for 10 months. That's awesome. You're my favorite guy. Yeah. Wait, so sorry.
All right.
Sorry, Ryan, Mark.
Yeah,
Connor,
no,
and
Jamie,
Cameron.
it's cool. It's cool. Jamie's pretty cool. I'm not even mad.
Okay, I'm sorry.
We don't have to pretend I'm your favorite.
Oh, that's so sad. No, Mark. I love you, Mark.
No, it's all right. We
You're all
why
my.
keep up this charade?
You're all.
Let's not start
Oh,
this session with this
dear.
energy, please.
You're all my favorite. Can I just use the thing that I use on my students? Is that okay?
What is
No,
the thing?
you have to
You're
have
all my favorite. You're all my
Pick
favorite.
one.
I love you all
Go.
equally. I know that's.
Man.
I know it's a cop.
Make us
All right.
fight for your love.
Only parents can say that.
Okay. Okay. All right. Enough chaotic energy. Let's go ahead and dive into the session. So, as is, yes, actually, sorry everybody, Kayla is my favorite.
Yeah, that's fair.
How dare you?
I know. She's not only my best friend, but she's also the best wife ever.
Well, that's very sweet and all, but you said your favorite guy.
Anyway.
Damn it!
Oh, mate, bitch.
Oh God, outsmarted on my own stream. Okay, all right. So
Oh man.
it's okay. Kayla was agreeing with you because she said lame, cheese, trash, gross. So apparently, I'm not her favorite. Okay,
Alrighty.
let's go ahead and dive in. So, if I recall correctly, somebody's doing the summary that's not me.
You do.
What a
recall
great
correctly.
memory, Joe.
Steel
It's-
trap. Steel trap, my
It-
boys.
Is me.
All right.
I'm doing the summary.
All right, so as is tradition here on Roll with Advantage, instead of the DM doing the summaries, I like to let the players do the summaries. It gives them an opportunity to, for one, put what happened in the last session in their own words, and it also lets me know as the DM what seemed important to them, so I can kind of know if what I'm giving away as hints and facts and things like that during the session, if it's actually resonating with the players. So with Mark, take it away, my boy. Whenever you're ready.
So, session 42. The basic summary here is that we attended the night's festivities. We went to the party that Odin invited us all to. And throughout the evening, everybody's suspicions of Odin continued to grow. We'd obviously had the unsuccessful diplomatic meeting between Hrothgar and Odin just earlier in the day, and we'd had time to reflect on it. That was all in session 41. And a lot of us didn't know how to feel about Odin. And attending this party provided some insights and seemed to make all of our opinion of him ever the more suspicious. So, Karasilla, Ashima, and Cecily, individually throughout the night, talked to some guests in their own ways, and they found out that there were people out there that had negative views of Odin, but it seemed like people feared punishment if they expressed them openly in sort of a totalitarian way. And while this was happening, Bianca had a meeting with somebody very important. Her name was Hel, spelled without the second L, though. That's an important distinction there. And Hel was a tiefling woman who basically had heard about Bianca denying Issen, her demonic patron, and basically wanted to help, so long as Bianca thought about joining the Valkyries, which was a group of warrior women that Hel led or helped led. Was it led? I think it's led.
Currently leading.
Currently leading.
There were two other leaders, and she was kind of the third chain of command now in charge of them.
Yeah. Cool. And so Hel basically said, like, Bianca, you could become a Valkyrie, and you could be somebody that, sort of fights as a warrior woman on behalf of the fallen. And so that's a thing that's going to happen sometime soon, probably. But at the end of their talk, Hel added to the suspicions of Odin by whispering to Bianca, be wary of the Allfather. And the most damning of events happened to Sunni. Odin called him into his office for a private talk about their actions during the fight between Odin and Hrothgar, and Sunni stood his ground about what he was trying to do, protecting Hro, protecting his own, and all of that, to which Odin essentially replied that he as well would do anything he needed to do in order to protect his own, and he said pretty much the only reason that he wasn't going to hurt or outright kill Sunni right now is because he knows that that would break trust with Cecily, and he needs Cecily for something nefarious. But before Sunni could really press any further on that, Odin modified his memories using powerful godlike magic, and Sunni came back to the party and only remembered having a pleasant conversation with Odin in which it seemed like they were able to understand each other, and then stumbling later in the night and hurting his head a little bit, rather than getting his head slammed against the wall. And later in the evening, Rose Fisher showed up, the investor from Summer's Rest that some of the party already knew well from months previous, and she presented a gift to Odin. And this gift was mega sussy baka because this gift was the stone that Oriana had found, the pirateering, treasure hunting woman that they had found a few sessions ago, that had this stone symbol that had a bunch of magical runes on it, and one of them was the symbol for time. And all the party really knows is that Oriana had it, and then the Dark One took it from her, and then Rose presented it to Odin. So all of that is pretty SpaghettiOs. And throughout the night, the party observed Rose and Odin talking, and they also observed the dysfunction of the Odinson family, which only raised suspicions even higher. They learned that Thor is just like the worst. He was telling a story in which he cheerfully and hysterically bragged about brutally murdering a giant that was hiding and begging for their life. And they also, some of the party witnessed Loki essentially trying to sneakily kill Balder with a special balm that he was putting on a spear to no avail, and get laughed out of the party by everyone else when he failed. And a lot of people seem to not be reacting too strongly to this stuff. It seemed to kind of just be like business as usual for the Odinsons and everybody in their inner circle. Definitely a lot of dysfunction going on there. Some of the group talked to Rose to see what she knew. Definitely some suspicions there. Some of the group talked to Mimir to see what he knew. And as he was in the office, Cecily extended her hand to point at something, which may have accidentally triggered some sort of magical sensor that let Odin know that there were people in the office when there shouldn't have been. But Cecily was asking Mimir about the prophecy and the tablet that has the prophecy written on it, and if he knew anything about that and knew anything about Odin's plan. And it seemed like his memory had been blocked or altered in some way, similar to what had happened to Sunni, although the rest of the party did not know it. And he was unable to really put his finger on what had happened and what he remembered about this. But before he could finally figure out what was going on in his own brain, Odin showed up, carried him away, and ordered the rest back to their room. And so now everybody was returning to their room in the wee hours of the morning with all of this new very suspicious information that they need to talk about, and they are supposed to join some of the Odinsons in going to the mine tomorrow. Something that was originally presented as just like a fun little family trip, and we'll see what that entails.
That indeed we will. As all of you, having just moments before right where we're going to pick up, Mimir in his office looking at the tablet saying, well, the child, the tear, that I think that I see, and stuttering and stammering as Suni, you being the person on the lookout in the hallway here, coming down the hallway as Odin arrived, and booming his voice told all of you to go back to your room, and you, pointing to Mimir, you come with me. And the party for a moment protesting, and then realizing that protesting was not an option regardless of how bad they didn't want something to happen to Mimir. As Mimir looks to all of you and says, don't worry, I'm sure it'll be all right, with a very weak smile on his face. As him and Odin begin to walk into his office, Odin gives one last look back to you, and before all of you can head back, he tells you this. Tomorrow at noon, you'll be leaving with Magni and Modi to that mine. Be ready. This isn't a choice. And he walks into the office, Mimir walking in after him, and the door slams behind the two of them as all of you begin to make your way back to the room. Before we go any further, is anybody saying anything to one another, or are you waiting till you get back to your room before you say anything?
I'm gonna wait.
Yeah, waiting.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So you just kind of wait as all of you make your way back through the dining hall. You reconvene with the rest of your party members. So that would be Morwen, Karasilla, Ashima, and who was the third person in the... Keothi.
It was Keothi.
Yeah. So the 6 party members and your 1 NPC companion, you all reconvene. And I'm assuming you all kind of gather back to the bedroom together before you really have any discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of... Ashima, Karasilla, I'm assuming the two of you sort of reading the vibe of the other 3. You're like, yeah, we should probably... Or the other 4, we should probably wait to get back to the room.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So then we'll just go ahead and cut right there as we fade into the bedroom. This sort of shared communal space between all of the party members. The different hearths and sort of burning chandeliers hanging from the ceiling of Tyr's temple. Libraries, massive amounts of bookshelves, tables and chairs, still fresh food and wine sitting on small tables spread throughout the room. And you can see one, and only one, half-eaten beignet, probably the last thing that Mimir almost ate before he left. And that one half-eaten piece of fried dough just... Some of you feel like it's mocking you almost. But as all of you make your way back into the room, nobody followed you as far as you can tell, and it seems as though in this moment, you have the room to yourself. What would you like to do?
Eat the beignet. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
Cecily will go to her bed again and just try to be very gentle and calm about everything as much as she possibly can. We'll sit on the bed and sort of look to everybody else and say out loud to them, this mine thing we're supposed to go is a setup, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I really don't know what else it'd be at this point.
Certainly possible, at least.
Are we able to do anything about it?
No. Absolutely not.
Well, we haven't really seen much of the town before coming here. We kind of just walked through it that first day we got here. Probably wouldn't hurt to at least, go out and about before we go to the mine. It's at noon, so we got all morning. And I know I have someone I need to meet tomorrow morning.
Joe, question.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't get to the party till like midnight. What time is it now?
Oh, at this point,
Like, if we're gonna get a full rest in, what time is it gonna be when we wake up?
at this point, it's probably about 3 a.m.
Ooh.
So 8
Ooh.
hours, you'd be looking at about 10 a.m., 11 a.m.
All right.
And when are we supposed to be meeting with Odin? Or with
noon.
Magni and Modi, I mean?
Noon.
Noon.
Okay.
Are we
so if
meeting them at the mines or at the temple and we're all going out together?
No, Odin's going to meet you in your room, and with Magni and Modi
Okay.
is going to pretty much bamf you outside the mine.
Okay.
I don't know if
So-
we're gonna have much time for meetings tomorrow.
I would also take care of who you meet with. Eyes will be upon us all tomorrow.
If they aren't already.
Yeah, I think we've made quite a name for ourselves. Did Loki drink the wine? Did anybody see that? I
He
need
did.
to know that paid off. Okay, good.
It
What-
was very embarrassing for him.
Good.
Although, I don't know that you would have been delighted to see it. And Ashima will go ahead and explain sorry, everything that went down with that situation. Between Loki throwing the spear and it just bouncing off Balder and the whole affair.
Everybody kind of making fun of him for it.
Hmm.
Man, Cecily, you're the most normal person in this family.
I know. It's pretty fucked up.
Carosilla, when you came back to the table, you had a look in your eye. I didn't want to push it, but you learned something. You saw something. What
I mean,
happened?
oddly enough, one of the pieces of information I did get. Well, when I was talking to one of the other partygoers, I feel like this should be said first, given, I guess, a recent comment. But when talking about Cecily, there was mention that Odin had only recently been calling you his child. And well, I feel there's few things that could logically mean. And I don't think either of them are good. Either he doesn't truly see you as a child, or, well, the only other alternative, we've been lied to this whole time. Which, given everything else, I wouldn't think is too hard to think is the case. And she's just watching Cecily's expression just as she's talking.
Yeah, it's very flat. Whatever feelings there are, she's working very hard to hold in. But she's sort of... That picture was my mother. That's all I really know.
Well, if it's any comfort, I feel this might not be entirely the family you'd want to be connected to anyways. After all, when I was coming back to the table, I overheard a conversation, well, I guess more storytelling from Thor to, well, both Magni and Modi and a couple of others around him. And, well, it was quite brutal in nature. Murdering an, well, seemingly scared or weeping giant. And in a very brutal manner, as far as descriptions go. Everyone else seemed to revel in such stories. Including, I guess, the people we are to go to these mines to tomorrow with. And I don't think I particularly like that idea of being with people that are so prone to violence.
So much for taming the storm inside, huh? Doesn't seem like any of them have really done that.
No.
Or at least they've not tried.
Regardless, if we have any hope of accomplishing what we came here to do, we're gonna have to play ball and play nice. We've drawn far too many eyes on us as it is, and we don't even know where we're trying to get to in this place.
I don't know if it matters if we play nice. I don't have a good feeling about this mine. I feel like we're walking into something.
Maybe, but we're gonna have to walk into it regardless. I mean, if we know anything for sure about this place, it's that Odin doesn't really treat dissent kindly.
If we have to play it all, and he'll nod his head towards Bianca, then let us play like it is a game of kingdoms and castles. We'll
She's gonna smirk at that.
allow our opponent to make their moves, and when we find an opportunity to make ours, we'll make it quickly.
I agree.
What moves can we even make, though?
Well,
Not been revealed yet.
there might be something.
Oh?
Yeah. When I was under the dew for a moment, I saw something. I guess you could say it was a vision, or maybe I was seeing a different place. I don't know. But I saw a big guy, had red hair, gold armor, and he looked at me and opened a door. And the door he opened, it's the same one that I think Odin wants to take us to at some point.
What was past the door?
Not exactly sure, but I get the sense that whatever was in the Temple of Time is past that door now.
You know, as Keothi this entire time has been very introspective, and she's been thinking very hard. And she's going to make a history check. Okay, that's at 25.
I had always heard stories about the Allfather, the Crow Lord, Odin. All of the stories that made their way to the Hearthstone, they were seemingly all about a different man, each one. And even before that, back when I was younger, I remember hearing stories of Tyr. And Tyr, how he had amassed this massive library of ancient knowledge. It was said that when he died, the wealth of knowledge that he found died with him. Sacrificed to the gods of knowledge, the mistress of knowledge, in an effort to safely make sure his soul made its way to Valhalla. there's maybe a chance that that's what's behind that door.
His knowledge?
Hundreds, if not thousands, of books on ancient secrets from around the world, all confined to one place. But if it was Tyr's library, then perhaps Odin can't enter.
Then why would Cecily be the answer to that?
I don't know.
Unless she's got something else to do
Wait. So, Cecily, you said that there's a portrait of your mother in the temple?
In his office, yeah.
And this temple used to belong to Tyr?
Yeah.
Are you... And if you can... Ah, shit, I don't know. Are you Tyr's daughter? I don't know. Speculation.
Her eyes are different from the rest of the families, right, Joe? Like, is she the only one with topaz eyes?
Yeah, because hers are this sort of very, very bright topaz where they almost sparkle like gemstones. The only person who had similar was Freya, the Witch of the Woods. She had like this bright gold color, like streams of sunlight. Cecily's is definitely more like a topaz, like it has that sort of gemstone sparkle to it.
And that's why he needs you to go through the door if it belonged to Tyr. What did Tyr look like? Does anybody know?
Keothi's gonna make another history check. Ooh,
You go, Keothi.
That's an 11.
You know, it's odd. All of the books that I read about Fjardeleth or about these men and women who came to Fjardeleth, it was always odd. There were always descriptions of Odin, of his son Thor, eventually of Loki, and then of Magni and Modi, of Hel and Ran, of Freya, of all of them. But there were never any descriptions of Tyr. It always seemed to be odd. It would describe each one of them in order. It would describe Odin, and then it would mention Tyr. And then there would be no description of him.
You know, that orb that Rose brought, we know that the Dark One wanted that thing. Well,
Or at least someone who had dark friends who wanted that thing.
last time we were in a place where the Dark One had orbs that he wanted, and we started opening doors. We played right into Daku's hand, didn't we?
Do you ever specify when you're meant to open this door?
Not exactly. I don't think he
Well,
ever
then I
said I was supposed to do it either.
I suggest we maybe find ourselves out of this place before he gets the chance to.
But if I recall correctly, the runes, the stones taken from that Temple of Time, they're here now. They're in Tyr's temple. I mean,
Well, then, so we need to get to them.
yes, I agree, so... then I don't know, what do we do then?
let's heist this bitch.
I think that's a very good idea, Sunni, but all of the hallways are always constantly shifting in this temple.
Yeah.
We'd need somebody who knows how to navigate this place, and Mir is a good option, but I don't know anymore.
What about Loki?
Well, he did kind of storm out, so I'm not sure if he had plans of staying around in Fjallaleth or going back to wherever he hails from.
I mean, he, at the very least, doesn't love his family.
Would
It's not
that
romantic.
not be the ultimate mischief?
That honestly might be the way to get him on our side, too, to mention it like that. If that's what he really likes to do. Or they.
Well, there's another way to view that, unfortunately.
Right, he could
Also-
trick us.
Yes.
Better the devil you know.
I know them both, and I don't like either, unfortunately. Regardless, we're talking about hypotheticals. We have to get through these minds of Magni and Modi first before any of this becomes relevant.
I'm just thinking that the mines could be a way for them to separate us from Cecily and then use Cecily in whatever they need, and we're not there.
Well,
And I don't know the answer because obviously saying no and maintaining some sort of pretend friendly relationship with Odin is not an option. But also, are we literally walking, just like letting it happen by trying to maintain this fake relationship? I don't know.
we've seen what Odin's capable of. If he walked in here right now, and if he wanted all of us dead except for Cecily, he could make it happen. That's just reality. Whatever he's planning, he's waiting for something, bare minimum. So,
That's true.
honestly, I'm not as worried as maybe I should be, but if he wanted us dead, we'd be dead. That's just the truth. And I really doubt he would send Magni and Modi to do it. Even their own father doesn't seem to have the highest opinion of them.
Okay, these are good points. I feel better about it now, but still, I don't know. A
I'm
little
not trying-
uneasy.
I'm not trying to undermine how you feel. I'm just thinking out loud.
No, you're bringing up excellent points. I can't argue with your points. You're right.
Whatever happens, I think you're right, Morwen. He's not gonna kill me. So, if this is some plan to get us separated and kidnap me and bring me back here and open a door, just don't get yourselves killed, alright?
I mean, it's like Morwen said, he's too strong and he runs this entire place. What's just stopping him from doing it now? I think there's more to it than that.
Agreed. There's something we don't see. But right now, I think we need to get some rest for whatever's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
I agree. I just want to say, I think that whatever may happen in the next few days, we all have been through so much. And if I'm being entirely honest, I think I'm a little more afraid of the Dark One than I am of Odin. So, If we can stare the Dark One in the face and put on a smile, then I think we can do the same to Odin.
Well said.
Thank you, Morwen.
All right, then that's that, I guess.
Okay.
I'll take first watch tonight. Y'all can get some rest.
I'll stay up with you.
Oh, Suni, can we not do this tonight, please?
I need to say something to you.
Can you do it now?
No.
I can
You wanna
take.
wait, we can wait, but I need to speak with just you.
In the morning when everyone's awake, we can step aside.
Okay.
I can take second watch and then go meet with my person right in the morning once everyone's awake. And it's not, I don't think Odin's going to think anything weird of it. She was at the party, so she clearly is invited and on good terms.
Also, it's
Okay.
only about a 15-minute walk from the temple anyway. It's on the small island, so
Sweet.
sweet.
All right.
Well, Cecily will not take a watch because she still has 4 levels of exhaustion, as far as I know.
Oh my god.
Weren't those all healed when you got dipped in the dew?
As far as I remember, only the True Sight was. But if the 4 levels of exhaustion were also, that'd be
Yeah,
real
they,
cool.
yeah, they were.
Oh, that's wow! I didn't know that.
I was
Tom.
Yeah, because that would
Hooray.
make you going into this fight at a severe disadvantage.
Yeah, I mean, I could do. I can handle 3.
I'd rather you have 0 though, so let's do that one.
Cool. Good to know. Those have been on my character sheet for like the month of September. It's pretty funny.
Oh man.
Amazing.
All right.
Or
Sorry.
before Ashima goes to bed, he's gonna go to the little hole in the wall and just grab the leftover beignet, and just tap ever so lightly.
Okay. Little Spriggan props its head out. Little wooden, small, very, very, very tiny creature, about half the size as you. These big eyes that are just ruffling leaves with sort of dull blue energy underneath the bark of its skin. It sort of pops out.
Hello, little friends. I have a favor to ask.
Whoa.
I noticed in the garden you have... Let's see. The little white daisy flower, the flower of the family, I believe, as well as bird's foot trefoil. In exchange for this delicious fried sweetbread, could you make sure a couple of those flowers make it to Loki, wherever he may be?
You can see the small Spriggan sort of eyes the fried bread and looks at you, and very slyly lifts up one of its tiny little arms, and some twigs emerge and wrap around the bread as it scoots it to itself. And you can see it just kind of nod as its little glowy eyes squint at you, and then sort of runs back down the hole.
Well, I hope that... Oh, go ahead.
No, you finish.
I hope that Loki speaks the language of flowers.
And Bianca, without a treat, is also going to knock for one of the Spriggans and hope they still do the thing. And she's going to give it a letter and say, please drop this off at Hell's room, wherever she's staying. And hopefully she'll get the message in the morning.
Lobo! Gives you a twiggy thumbs up.
Awesome. And then she'll go to bed.
Alrighty. So, with that, our party. You all head off to sleep. Morwen, you take the first watch, and then Bianca taking the second. You go throughout your watch. Seems as though nothing happens. It is eerily quiet as you just wait and watch. And nothing seems to happen. So, Bianca, at the end of your watch, as everybody is getting up, getting ready to go, gathering their things, you do have something you need to do. So at this point, morning comes. It is, at this point, go ahead and stop time, hour. At this point, it is about 11:01. I have about an hour until noon. So, if nobody is going to say anything to Bianca, we're going to go ahead and follow Bianca's POV before she leaves.
I think Cecily is up. I'll just if Bianca wants to engage with this, but
Yeah.
Cecily is awake a little sooner than usual, and she is going to be, as her morning meditation, she is going to be trying and failing to tie her hair into a braid, just sitting at the base of her bed, and just kind of like she'll do a twist and be like, shit, and then undo it, and then just do it again, and it's just not working at all.
Well, as Bianca's getting ready to like head out the door, she's gonna see this and be like, "You don't have to twist your hair for a braid. Do you want me to show you how?
Oh.
Or I could just... What are you wanting done? I could just do it."
Oh. I don't know. I just, she's just gonna kind of look at her, she has the new dress that was given to her by the temple, and she's gonna look at her old, muddy, crumpled up one in the corner and just kind of be like, it just seemed like the time for a change or something. So, just trying to get it up in the braid thing. You know those things?
Yeah, I'm pretty familiar. Do you know how? Do you want me to teach you? Do you want me just to do it?
Well, I haven't done it before. Someone used to do it for me. So,
Well, if you're comfortable with me doing it, I'm happy to do it for you. And then I'll head out.
okay. Yeah, sure.
Okay, what do you want? Something that kind of simple, or do you want something fancy? I'm assuming simple, but I'm gonna ask.
I want something I can learn how to do every morning.
Okay. And she'll do a simple, not a French braid that starts at the top, but kind of starts at the back of the head, just something gathering everything back, and she'll just do it all the way down.
Yeah. Give me them little, them little front hairs where you
Yeah.
hang. Yeah, give me some of them shits. Hell yeah.
Sure.
Um,
And then
yeah.
she'll actually, she'll heat up her finger and make slight little curls at the bottom.
Hey.
Amazing. Thaumaturgy at its best.
Yep.
But yeah, as you're doing it, Cecily is just kind of probably halfway through. She starts breathing a little heavier, and just seems like she's working through something this morning.
It looks really nice. I know you don't like looking in the mirror, but I don't think you'd be disappointed if you did.
And she'll kind of
And-
just feel at it a little bit. Thanks.
Yeah. It's pretty tight, so probably won't have to redo it, until it falls out. So, should stay good.
Yeah. You're the first person that's done my hair in 6 years. It was nice.
Thanks. I'm honored that you let me.
Okay. Go have your date or whatever you're doing.
Sure. And then she will head on out.
Okay, sounds good to me. So you begin to head out of the temple, making your way through the dining hall, which is at this point completely empty, and then eventually back to the center of the temple, right near the main entrance and exit where you've come in and out time and time again, right where the that sprig or part of the tree of life of Yggdrasil is. This sort of one small offshoot of it, which if this is a small offshoot of the tree, you can only imagine how huge the real tree of life is. So you make your way out of Tyr's temple. You can see that building in its entirety, massive gray stone and red banisters falling down, trimmed in gold, as you begin to make your way through. And it doesn't take much until eventually you find the grove of the Mistress of Death, the Raven Queen, where Hel would most likely spend most of her time. And hopefully she got your letter, so she'll be here. As you make your way in, you can see a not necessarily a temple or a shrine, but you can see this large grove of evergreen trees with different tombstones sticking out of the ground in different areas. And you can see a plethora of black flowers sprouting up out of the ground in different places. As making her way around the grounds, you can see Hel walking about as she looks to you and smiles. And, refresh that. As she says, well, I'm glad that you decided to come. I was very pleased to receive your letter.
Yeah, a lot happened last night that makes you think a lot in a short period of time.
Yes, I'm sure. And I would just like you to know that I'm very happy that you are safe and that you seem healthy.
Thanks. We can speak pretty freely here, right?
Correct. Even the All-Father's eyes do not reach here.
Okay. I'm very not familiar with any sort of formalities on being a follower of any sort of god. It's entirely new for me, so even just being here, I don't even know the last time I've been in a temple.
And that is quite all right. You must understand that should you choose to take this oath and pursue this life, very rarely will you ever be in a temple. In fact, I don't even know if it's right to think of yourself as a follower of a particular pantheon or of a deity. At the end of the day, should you choose to follow this path, you are merely someone who wishes to see that the souls of the brave and those who've lost their way find home after death. That way their souls don't wander aimlessly throughout the rest of eternity. You're doing a kindness to people. You're not serving a god.
I think what, besides everything else that I said, what really threw me off about your offer was thinking about who or what I'd be after Issen. Because I had not thought that far. I don't even know how much I thought I would even be successful. I just knew that I couldn't live a life just running a shop knowing I could make a difference and like set, I guess, a thing that my family did wrong right. And I still feel so connected to them. And I know I want to break away from that, but I also know that I can't exactly fully. So maybe this is like the next best step. And I also know that I need help. And I can't keep trying to do it on my own. I know I have my friends and my allies, but it's not their burden, and I don't want it to be their burden.
The first step in accomplishing great feats is realizing you can't do it alone. Thinking of the greatest heroes in Illica, none of them did what they did by themselves, unaided by someone they cared about, or unaided by someone to guide them, to teach them. Any hero, which I'm sure you know many of them, they all had help along the way. They all had teachers to show them the way. There's no shame in that. You are brave and strong, and I know that you have what it takes, or else I would not make this offer to you. Should you wish it to happen, you have the willpower to stand up to Issen and reclaim what he never had a right to in the first place. You could have your humanity back.
That's the other thing. I don't exactly know what would happen if I did kill Issen, or do, without already reclaiming my soul. I don't exactly know if I'm free still. If that makes sense.
Whatever events you are tied to, I'm sure that you will be tied to them until the end of your days. But Issen owns your soul. Issen consumes souls. That is the main reason why myself and the Raven Queen wish to see him dead. Should he be killed, all of those who lost their souls will be given back to them. Even if that someone was changed by him taking their soul.
I guess what I mean is, I received information that if I didn't reclaim my soul, I would fulfill, I guess, the ritual of becoming his heir if I kill him. That's what I mean. And I don't exactly know what that even means. Like, do I still have autonomy over myself? Would I just become them? I don't really understand what that means. And that's, if I don't like have a wish spell, I guess. I don't even know how do you reclaim your soul?
Well, the mistress of death, should a great enough deed be accomplished, I don't see why she wouldn't be willing to grant a devout servant, a just servant, something like that.
Bianca's eyes will just grow wide at that, and almost like this weight starts to not completely leave her shoulders, but like you can just see that it affects her, like the idea of that being able to happen. Oh, I guess she could do that.
I believe she could. And I believe that she would be willing to do that for you. Because, Bianca, if I'm being entirely honest, I had no idea of your fight with Issen until she shared it with me. She wanted me to extend this offer to you, to give you a fighting chance to reclaim what's yours. It could very well be that blade that you carry with you, or it could be something more. Whatever it is, she sees something in you. And she kind of squints at you and her head cocks to the side a little bit. I think I see it too. I don't know what it is, but I can see it.
And she's just kind of nod after she says that and say, I think I'm ready. I think I want to do this.
You can see her smile at that. Very good. Then, shall we get started?
It'll probably be a lot easier than becoming a blood hunter, at least I hope so.
I believe so as well.
I'm glad you took that as a joke. I was worried you weren't going to laugh.
No, it was, all things considered, very funny.
Okay.
Also, thank you for gifting the sub, Phoenix Suns 01. All right.
Yay, thanks.
So, with that, you can see her make her way over to a small shrine in the very, very back of the grove. She looks down and you can see a collection of different lanterns sitting on top of this area. All of them look fairly mundane. They do look like higher quality, like they look to be silver as opposed to like wrought iron. And they also have this sort of foggy blue glass as opposed to just pale and clear white. She grabs one off, and you can see that she exhales into it, this cold, chilling breath. And you can see that while it's cold outside where you're at, the glass begins to frost on top of that fog.
and there's this dull, magical glow. Doesn't give off any light, but you can just, being so used to magical things now, you can just see it. She holds it in her hand, and before she extends it, she says, "Before you take this and accept the oath of the Valkyrie, you must know the 4 tenets that each one of them follow. You do not need to repeat these, you do not need to say them, but should you break them, this lantern will no longer work. And I'm sorry to say, Bianca, but your chances of defeating and destroying Isen, they decrease by quite a fair amount."
Okay.
Your 4 tenets as a Valkyrie. The first one is to bring death to worthy enemies. You will decide which of your enemies most deserve death and deal it to them. Seek out the greatest foes on the battlefield, and do so bring honor and victory to your allies. Can you pledge to that oath?
I can.
The second tenet is stand witness. Give witness to deeds of bravery and heroism on the field of battle. Remember what you have seen and share these accounts of valor so those sacrifices of true courage are never forgotten. And when the time comes for your death, fight well and seek a beautiful end. Can you follow this tenet?
I can.
The third tenet, aid the heroic. Provide aid and support to your allies, especially those who prove most worthy. Heal those that can be saved, and return them to the fight as quickly as possible. Can you observe this tenet?
I can.
And finally, most importantly, honor the fallen. After the clamor of combat fades, you will honor the fallen by administering last rites to the dying. When possible, respect the bodies of the worthy dead, either through burial or having them consumed in flames, each according to their beliefs, whether they be ally or foe. You will do this. Can you accept this tenet?
I can.
Then, Bianca, it is my great honor to gift this lantern to you. The lantern of the Valkyrie. And she'll hand you the lantern. And it is smaller. It doesn't weigh very much. It's maybe only a couple of pounds. And immediately, being in this... Glad I sneezed
Bless
there and
you.
not earlier. Thank you. As she hands it to you, and I'm going to go ahead and add it to your inventory right now on D&D Beyond.
Yay.
This lantern is a rare magical item, added to equipment there, that does require attunement. Now, being here, you feel this embrace to it immediately. As this item in particular, it has several things. So like I said, it's the metal itself is a bright polished tier, a bright polished silver with that sort of foggy, frosty teal glass. Now, it works like a normal lantern, so while lit, the hooded lantern burns for 6 hours on 1 pint of oil, all that good stuff. Now, the main thing is here, the light that is emanated by this lantern is a deep, dull blue. And whenever the lantern is lit, shining it in a particular area with a 25-foot dim light radius and 5-foot bright light radius, it will highlight lost souls in a pale blue haze. They'll almost seem like foggy ghosts whenever they're highlighted by the lantern.
Cool.
You can use the lantern once per day to cast the spell Speak with Dead, consuming no spell slot. The only difference is this version of the spell only works with lost souls. So anyone that you find with the lantern, you can speak to them once per day. So that means, unlike Speak with Dead, they don't need to have a body. You just need to have a lost soul that was not able to make its way to the afterlife.
Cool.
And there's one more thing. This is a rare lantern.
Oh,
This is a big
more.
Because remember, if you break any of these 4 oaths,
Then I suck again.
the lantern doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
So, like I said, you can use this lantern once per long rest, and after you use Speak with Dead on a lost soul, the lantern will gain a charge. Okay? And you may choose to expand that charge as part of an attack to use the Paladin's Smite ability. Each charge used increases the level of the smite by 1, and there's a maximum of 5 charges that you can hold in this lantern.
That's pretty cool, yo.
Yeah, so that means, first off, expending 1 charge, that's an extra 2d8 of radiant damage. 2 charges would be 3d8, and so on and so forth, until eventually you get to 7d8 extra damage at 5 charges. All right.
Well, that's pretty cool, I guess.
All right. Just don't break the rules.
I'll try.
We won't have any problems. All right.
Felicity's got to put away the chaoticness.
So
Go
with
away.
That, you can feel the lantern bond to you. And for the duration, while you maintain this oath, you cannot break attunement with this lantern. All right?
Cool.
All right. So, you feel that connection, and you feel a connection also form with 12 others. You have no idea who they are or where they are, but you feel a connection form between you and them, and you can only assume that they're the other Valkyries. The connection isn't very strong. It's weak. It's almost like that feeling you get when you feel like you're being watched. Not uncomfortable, but that sort of like inkling feeling like on the back of your neck. And you feel like there's something preventing you from making a true connection. And you feel like there's more that this lantern can do that you just are unable to unlock. And it probably has something to do with the fact that your soul is not your own. So, you've taken the oath, and Hell looks to you and smiles and says, I have great faith in you. I think that you are going to do quite well at this. The lantern suits you well.
Thank you. I feel like I've already made a good choice. And I've made a lot of choices that I thought were good and didn't turn out being that way, but I don't think this is the same. This is different.
Very much so. But I can say, and I believe that should Sigrun have been here or should Freya have been here, they would both also be very happy to have a new member to their family.
Okay, this is Felicity, Joe. Sorry, who? Sigrun and Freya?
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Both of them.
Ooh, back to being in character.
Yeah.
I had to geek out for a second.
Yeah.
And we've met Sigrun. Yes. Okay. Yeah. We have.
That's Emeriel's bodyguard.
Yes,
much.
I know. I just couldn't remember. I was like, was that this campaign or a different campaign? I'm trying to remember which Emerald we've met in which campaigns. So yeah, Freya and Sigrun. Okay, that's cool.
So yeah, she would just kind of briefly explain that Freya created the organization, the faction of the Valkyries, but Sigrun, in Freya's absence, had become queen of the Valkyries. And now Sigrun, deciding that she needed to go off and do different things, it's now fallen to Hel to lead the Valkyries.
Okay.
While Hel herself is not a Valkyrie, she's kind of taken that responsibility of leading them.
Oh, okay, but Hel's not a okay. Into
Yep.
Hel. Hell not Valkyrie. Okay.
No, yeah. Yeah, look at that.
I'm learning.
You're learning.
Okay. Cool.
So with that, she'll smile, and if there's nothing else, she'll send you back to the temple. So you can
There is nothing else with her, but I did want to do one thing when I was back at the temple, or Tyr's temple.
Yeah, sure. So as you're walking back, like I said, it's only about a 15-minute jaunt, so you maybe have 15 minutes to spare by the time you get back to the temple to get back to the room before Odin arrives.
Yeah, I want to see if this lantern finds any wandering souls in the temple before I go back. Maybe someone's mom, maybe Tyr.
Where are you going? Because it's only a 25-foot radius. So you gotta pick and choose pretty carefully.
Well, I don't know what's in this temple much. I'd like to go near the... Don't do it. Don't do it. Ryan's crying. No. I would like to, if I could go down the hallway with his office, but I feel like that's a bad idea, but I know that's where the picture is. Or down a hallway with an important door. But like maybe.
Felicity, where are you going?
Okay. Okay, fine. She'll just just kind of see. She'll walk past the office but she's not going to try and get too close, just walking down that hallway. She's not going to try and like go in.
Okay, so in that corridor, that hallway, there are 2 doors. Well, there are 3 doors technically. There is the large door at the very end, that you can assume that's the one that Cecily was talking about in her vision in Yggdrasil, in the Dew. Then there is also Odin's office, which you've been to, and then there is another door all the way next to that large door. It's worth noting that the door to Odin's office is shut. You make your way down here, it doesn't seem like there's anybody in here.
She's not going in the office, though. That's such a bad idea. She knows that's a bad idea.
So I will say that as you're walking down, the door to the office at the very, very end of the hallway is cracked. Not the one that you were in standing near with Mimir was cleaning, but the other one next to the door.
She's not gonna peer in. She's just gonna walk by it and see if her lamp is picking up anything.
Okay. So, lighting the lantern, very briefly, you sort of take it off your belt and you just slowly direct it around the door. And oh wow. Around the door, near closest to Tyr's office, you can see that there are 7 or 8 pale blue apparitions that are just sort of wandering near the door, and some phasing through the door into that other office at the very end of the hallway.
And can I tell? So I can just see like. So when you say souls, do I see like a blob, or do I see a like defining shape of a person?
No, you can very vaguely tell race and whether they have more feminine or masculine features. That's really about as much as you can get.
Okay. Does anyone look like Mimir or like, I guess, human woman? I know that would be Cecily's mom. Or I have no idea what Tyr looks like. So, anyone looking like those 2?
There are 2 women, and the rest of them are men, but none of them seem to have hooved feet like Mimir did.
Okay, that's good. I was worried he was dead, so okay. And they're walking from his office to the other door down the hallway, like all of them are?
No, they are standing right in front of that big metal door at the very end of the hallway, going into the smaller office right next to that door. So
Okay.
none of these souls are near Odin's office. They're all the way on the other end of the hallway.
Okay. She's gonna go to the other end of the hallway and she's gonna kind of listen for living people, and if it's pretty quiet, she'll just pick one of the souls, I guess, and see if she can speak with them.
Okay, make a perception check.
Go into perception land. My skills. I'm sorry, Joe, if this stressed you out.
I want you to go back after the session is over and watch everything I'm doing, because I'm a one-man soap opera right now.
Okay, I got a 19. I'm also apologizing to Ryan because I know he's hyperventilating right now. So,
okay.
But I got a 19 on my perception check.
19. Okay, that's good to know. So you bring up the lantern, and I'll go ahead and drop Speak with Dead in the chat here for you. Because I also need a reminder. I'm pretty sure that it's 3 questions, but I just want to make sure. Speak. Come on. Speak with Dead, 3rd level. All right. Display in VTT. Okay, there we go. Okay. Until the spell ends, you can ask the course up to 5 questions. What it knew in life, the languages it knew, answers briefly, encrypted, repetitive. The corpse is under no compulsion to offer the truth. The spell doesn't return to the creature, only animating its spirit, thus the corpse can't learn anything new. It does. Okay, all right, sounds good. Coolio. Sounds good to me. So back in Tyr's Temple, like I said already. So let's go ahead and move you there. Okay. So you raise the lantern up and you focus the energy of the lantern. And like I said, there were about 8, 2 women, 6 men. Are you going to talk to a woman or a man?
Let's go with a woman, because Valkyrie and female empowerment, I guess. I don't know. Let's do that.
All right. Okay, so.
I did have a 19 on my perception check. Do I hear like living people?
As of right now, no.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so you're standing right next to the door that's currently cracked open, leading into that smaller office next to the door, as you catch one of the women focusing the light as they turn to you, their head cocks. I'd like you to roll a D100 for me, just real quick.
Oh, no. Sure. Okay. 100. Roll. 80.
80. Okay. Okay. So, the spirit looks to you. This lost soul. As soon as you channel into them, activating the spell of the lantern, you can feel sadness. A great mote of it just enter your form as you feel the thoughts and feelings that they are. Great sadness, despair, as they look to you. What is the first question you ask?
What is your name?
They look at you, and there is a moment where they have this remembrance to their face, as they were sort of lost in a moment, having everything sort of come back to them, not knowing how long they've been here. My name is Trifa.
Oh, good, because I did not spell it that way. Were you close to Odin?
Close is one way to put it. Close to Odin, close to Tyr. I fought for both of them.
Does Bianca know the Cecily's mother's name?
That would have been up to Mark if Cecily would have shared that.
I'm gonna be real. I don't think I did.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I just don't recall bringing it up.
Okay, she's gonna ask. Okay. Were you around when the daughter was born?
I was. That was the day.
That's 3 questions, right?
That's 3. You got 2 more.
Okay. Was she Tyr or Odin's daughter?
Estrid's daughter. She was so kind and so beautiful. She had many suitors, the most vocal of which were Odin. But much to Odin's resentment and anger, she never wanted him. She only ever wanted Tyr.
Bianca, at that moment, with that 19 perception that you rolled, you can hear very lightly coming down the hallway. And it's coming down the hallway towards Odin's office. There's only one way in and out of this hallway, and that's in the direction of the footsteps.
What? Really? Well, that would have been very good knowledge. This is me freaking out, okay? And in this hallway, I know what I'm gonna do. Right, she's not gonna say any more. She's gonna drop the spell, and then she is going to, okay, I have a quick question. This is now technicalities. Is my subclass the new one or the current one still?
The new one, the Raven Queen one.
Damn it! I don't know what I have. I never got to use one of my subclass thingies from my other one. It's up to you if you want me to use it now or not, but it would be really cool if I did.
What's the ability?
It's the Shadow Demon ability. Walking through walls.
Oh man, I want to say yes, but then it kind of goes in the face of the oath you just took. Yeah.
I know.
I mean, I will say you can either face the music or that door is cracked into the other office.
She's gonna... All right, into the office.
Okay.
Not Odin's office, the cracked door.
The cracked door, okay, which leads into another office. You can see as soon as you enter that office, you can see that it's mostly empty. There's a small desk, small chairs, much smaller than the furniture that was in Odin's office, and you can see a portrait of a woman that looks very similar to Cecily. Older for sure, and a little different, but if you were to ever look at something and say, yeah, that's definitely Cecily's mother, this is the portrait. A beautiful woman with golden locks. There's a desk.
Is there any place to hide?
Um,
or a window to leap out of?
There's no windows. The desk, you could hide under the desk. You can't see through the bottom of it. It's solid wood.
Okay, she will, as quietly as possible, just duck down there and wait for the footsteps to pass. Hopefully.
Okay. So, you tuck yourself under the desk, knees to your chest. You slow your breathing. You try your best. I would like you to make a stealth check with advantage.
I'm sorry, y'all. Taking way too much time. Do I just roll twice on or is there a advantage setting on?
Just do twice. I don't know what the advantage setting is. If I'm being entirely honest, yeah.
Well, the first one is a 17. The second one is a 24.
24. That is very good.
Thank God.
Okay. So, 17. As you can hear the footsteps getting closer and closer and closer to the doorway. Opening the door to the room that you're in, you can hear heavy footfalls as the door slams shut. As you can hear two sets of feet in the room. And you can hear Odin begin to speak.
No. Thor, you listen to me. Under no circumstances do you hurt them. If you do you know what we lose? Any chance we have of saving our home, of saving the Western Salamander, of saving this world we live in, lies within those doors. Or can you be such a blockhead to not realize that?
You can hear Thor just sigh. Father, I understand that entirely. I do, but the way they walk around here with that air about them, thinking they're so much better. I was there with you on that day. I did what you wanted me to Tyr. And I feel as though I start earning what I was promised. Every giant you've sent me to kill, to hunt down their secrets, I've done it. And what do I have to show for it? You still treat Balder like he's the belle of the ball, that he's the most important person there. What has Balder ever done for you? Balder walks around all day, smiling at everyone, pulling tricks, showing that he can't be hurt. And you treat him like he's the best thing that's ever happened. If you never laid with that bitch Freya, you know that he wouldn't be here. And you know that you would have to rely on me for everything, but you already do! But no. No. The great All-Father couldn't keep his fucking dick in his pants, could he? And with that, Odin quickly stomps over to him. You can hear some rattling and clattering as there's like this contact with a fist on a face, this snapping of bones, blood dripping onto the floor, a few teeth clattering over onto the ground. As you can hear this charge of like lightning and energy as Odin quickly smacks that away as the magic is dissipated, as there's this thump on the wall, as you can hear Odin say in a very low tone.
Remember who your father is, boy. You never speak to me that way again. Or I'll do the same thing to you that I did to Mimir. So tell me, is that what you want?
As you can hear the body come off the wall and then slam into the metal again as it lets out this gong sound.
You may be my son, boy. But I need you to know, if you get in my way of saving this thing, of saving all of this, I won't hesitate.
As you can hear Thor start to gasp for air.
I won't hesitate to break your fucking neck and send you to exactly where Tyr is.
As you can hear Thor start to smack on his father's hands and arm as he's just trying to scratch away, as Odin just laughs and
Oh, you think you're so strong, boy. But you,
as he picks him up and throws him onto the ground.
you are nothing. You do what I say. Exactly as I say it. And you'll get the greatness you want. Do I make myself?
As you can hear Odin's foot lift off the ground and set onto the metal plates on Thor's chest.
Or do you have another idea with what I should do with you?
Thor kind of
Yes, Father. I understand, Father. I'm sorry for my words, Father. Father, please forgive me. You are forgiven, my boy.
As you can hear him pick him up, set him on his 2 feet.
I love you, my boy. You're in store for great things. But this needs to go exactly how I foresaw it going, or we lose everything. Fate will guide us, my boy. And those tablets, they'll mean nothing. Nothing at all by spring. Clean yourself up. Send your boys to their room. To make myself clear. Yes, Father. Very clear, Father. Good. Now get out of here!
You can hear 2 sets of footsteps exit the room. As Odin lingers in the room for a little longer, you can see just from the cracks underneath the desk, his feet walk towards the portrait.
You and him both thought you could keep her away from here. So close. This never would have happened, Estrid. Never would have happened. If you would have just... If you would have just listened to me. I loved you. But no. No. couldn't bring yourself to that standard. I wasn't the ruler of Fjarlaleth, so I wasn't good enough. Is that what it was? Well, now I am. And in spite of you, and in spite of him, and in spite of all of those useless shits that surround me, I will save this place. And I'll bring you back. And I will show you that I am worthy of your love. I promise you that.
And you can hear him breathe and stop for a moment at the door. He turns around to face the room. Slowly begins to walk towards the desk. As he begins to lean over, to look towards the chair, to look underneath. You can hear a knock at the door. You can hear Loki's voice. Father, I'd like to have a word with you. I know you're very busy, but there's just something that's been on my mind that I'd like to say. He stops for a moment and looks back towards the door.
Were you in here earlier?
Loki sort of snickers a little bit. What do you mean? Was I here earlier? And he kind of looks into the room. And Bianca, you swear for a moment he makes eye contact with you. And then continues to look around the room. Oh. Sorry, Well, I'm sure you heard what happened last night. I just needed to get away, be in private for a moment. I know you don't like people coming back here, but,
What have I told you about coming here? Never again. You understand me?
All right. Never again. Promise.
Good. We can talk on the way. Let's go.
With that, Odin and Loki exit, leaving you, Bianca, alone in the room, the door wide open. So, with that, we're going to cut back to the group as Bianca, at this point, you'll be easily able to find your way back to the room, and we'll go ahead and reintroduce Bianca as she gets back, okay?
Okay, cool.
Ooh.
I'm sweating, y'all.
I'd like to start off by saying, Jesus fucking Christ, that was a lot. Oh
Man.
my god.
Okay, so, you all in your room now, just sort of sitting there waiting. I understand that in the morning, before anybody arrived, Desmond Suni and Morwin are gonna have a conversation. Is that correct?
Yeah. So Suni will, I guess, wait until Morwin's finished with her morning routine before walking over to her. And then he'll look at her and say, "Is now a good time for you?"
Lauren kind of glances up. Yeah, now it's fine.
Carousel, I want you to come too.
Okay.
And he'll, I guess, lead them outside the room or to a place in the room that's a little bit more private.
Sure.
And he will, kind of with arms crossed over one another, he's going to say, "First of all, I want to start off by saying, I don't regret what I did yesterday. Just get that out of the way. I don't regret it. But I am sorry that it had to happen that way. And I think you both can understand this. When somebody is attacking your ally, I mean, it can stir up certain feelings, especially with everything that had already gone on between all of us. And I think we all could have handled the situation from the day earlier a little bit better, all of us. And I'm sorry for snapping at you then, too. But what I need you to know about the entire thing is that, first of all, when we first talked to Hrothgar in the tavern, the two of you left before I did, and I told him that if he was hell-bent on going through with what he was planning to do, that I would have his back, because an oath is an oath. And I still believe that, and I meant what I said, even if I knew that the consequences of attacking Odin or attacking anybody else. That's what I told him. And when that turned into what it did, I knew that I couldn't do anything against Odin, but what I could do was stop the person who was stopping him from doing what he was trying to do. But beyond that, like I said, I wanted to apologize because it's never okay. Even though I don't regret it, it's never okay to put your sword on an ally. It's just that these people are all that I've ever had. They're my entire life. I've never had purpose. I've never had family. I've never had friends. It's these people, and that's it. And with Hrothgar, I know that we had not met him but a month ago. A little longer. But he's the only person who I've ever met who is able to understand that part of me. When I first woke up a few months ago, a year ago maybe now, I'm not sure. Everything's kind of fucked up in my brain, but I got mixed in, and I know I said this on the ship, I got mixed in with the Thieves Guild in Giant's Bridge. And what I didn't know then, or maybe I did, but I just didn't want to believe it, was that I was being used for who I am and what I was. And I had no idea what it meant to be a Dragonborn. But they saw me, and they saw that I could bring them in money from the stature of what I was in my existence. And it's hard being used like that without having any idea what it means. And it's been really hard since then, trusting people after what they did to me. And I found this group of people who are my family. And then my best friend left not too long ago, and then immediately after the two of you came here. And I know you're good people, and I know that what you want is what we want. And I am sorry. And it won't happen again.
Morwen glances over to Carasilla. You or me?
I think it's only fair that you go first.
Okay. See, Morwen's kind of trying to think of what she wants to say. Suni, why did I attack Hrothgar?
Beats me.
Let me explain then. We are here so that we can go back in time, so that we can stop the heist of Bromsgrove, and so hopefully we can prevent the massacre at Delmer's Pass from ever happening, potentially saving thousands. Along with this, we'll also stop Bromsgrove, our home, from coming under siege. Because we haven't been back since it was attacked. I don't even know if my mom and dad are still alive right now. No idea. We took Hrothgar to that meeting with the intention of brokering peace. You were there in the tavern. We both told him to let the anger go. Because we are trying to do so much right now to save all those people. And all the people who are going to continue to die because of it. So when Hrothgar attacked Odin, when he forsake his oath that he swore when he joined the Children of the Flame, when he put myself and Caracilla in danger by attacking Odin, I struck him. Because I needed to make it very clear to Odin that I did not agree with what he was doing. Because I need to be here. Because this mission needs to succeed. That is why I attacked him. Because I failed my men once. And to be frank, I should be back there in the dirt with them, but I left them. And here I am trying to make it right. I didn't want to have to attack Hrothgar. But in that moment, I had to. Even if he successfully killed Odin, you all might have been able to distance yourselves away from it, but do you really think the Sons of Odin would have looked at the two of us, two senior kindled of the Children of the Flame, think we had nothing to do with it? What would have happened to us?
Okay, I'll admit I was thinking selfishly. And that and anybody here can tell you, a lot of the times I don't think through what I'm doing. That part just eludes me. But you say it like that, and I understand. But I just hope that you can understand where I was too.
I'm trying. It's hard for me too, but I don't think you all see this the same way that we do, and vice versa. I don't think that's a fault, that's just the way it is.
I'd agree with that.
We helped save your life, Suni.
I know, and I'm thankful. Believe me.
You're gonna have to understand it really didn't seem that way.
And he'll just nod to that.
With luck. No, you first.
Oh, it's just I will be better to show that. Because it does mean something to me, and like I said, I can recognize that I was being selfish.
When we pull this off and go back in time, it'll undo so much of this. What happened to Hrothgar will have never happened. We will never have gone to him, never come to Fjarlalith, and he would have had no reason to follow us. He'll still have his arm, he'll be fine in his tavern.
You know, that didn't even cross my mind until right now.
I kind of suspected that, yes.
Like I said, I don't know if it's just, I don't know what it is. I just can't think that far ahead, I guess. And I'm trying to be better. Because I put too many of my friends in danger a few too many times as it is because of that. I respect the two of you a lot. And I hope this goes without saying, but I hope you know that I wasn't trying to actually hurt you. I was just trying to get you away from him. I know that probably doesn't mean that much, though.
Well, all I can say is hopefully in time I will believe you. Right now I'm still a little uncertain. But I'm willing to move forward and give it a chance.
The other thing I can say is that I hope to the gods, Morwen, that I will never have to battle you truthfully. Because that's a scary thought.
And very playfully, she'll kind of give a smile and just be like, and don't you ever forget that.
Trust me, I won't.
Okay, I think I'm good. Carousel, you want to add anything onto that?
I feel like you two have handled yourself enough, but I will say that everything that my sister does and say can consider it my own actions and words. I think everything that she's done in the past couple of days has been, well, in the best interest of everyone here. As I'm sure you believe your own actions to be. And I think that's the problem that we have here, if there is one. I've had my whole life to understand and get to know where Morwen's coming from, her thoughts, her feelings, why she does the things she does. And, well, we haven't had the same luxury. And I think we are still learning about each other. And as long as we know that, if we do have differences in opinions, or beliefs of how things should happen, I think we should at least know that we're all coming from the same place. And that we don't need to have conflict in future.
Agreed.
You know, that reminds me of something Eniral used to tell me, our old captain in the Children of the Flame. She clarifies to Suni. She always said in our line of work, contention was unavoidable. But she said conflict was avoidable. I think those are some words that maybe we can all try to live better by.
Yeah. I'm gonna do my best to earn the two of your respect. I really think this, I think we can be good friends. But I know that I messed up. But I'll make it better.
Fair enough, as far as I can say.
Then he'll extend a hand to Morwen first, and then Carasilla, hoping that they each take it.
Suni will, Marlon will take and shake it, maybe just give it a little squeeze too tight. Also give that playful smile again.
So I'll also happily take it.
All right, well, now that that's over,
Let's get ready for our trip.
yeah.
No better place to start practicing that whole united front, huh?
Yeah. Let's get back. And Marlon will head into the room.
Okay. Alrighty.
Or back to the group, wherever
Yeah.
you are.
Okay. So with that, as you all sort of waiting in the room, eventually a few hours pass, and eventually around 11:45, 11:50, Thor enters the room, and flanked behind Thor is Magni and Modi. And Thor, you can see his hair is a little disheveled, but he kind of straightens it out as he comes into the room, sort of retying the.
Is
top
Bianca
knot.
already back, or is
No.
she like? Okay.
No, you will arrive after Odin does.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna be late.
That's fine. That's
At
fine.
least you have an excuse.
Do I?
You were at a meeting with somebody.
Did you get a note from hell, please?
Sorry, I didn't even know.
Yeah, you gotta
You
get
have
that
a hall pass.
Yeah, you gotta get a hall pass. Yeah.
Me and Hell met under your desk. Under your desk.
Whoa!
Oh my god.
It was a good party, but damn.
Okay, so Thor enters. Like I said, he's a little disheveled. He straightens up as he enters, and he says,
Hello. I hope all of you were able to get a little bit of rest after last night. I had heard a little bit of what happened, and needless to say, I think that well, if I'm being entirely honest about my father, he's particular about certain things, and his office he likes to keep rather private. Learning experience for everyone involved. But growth can now be had. You've already met already, but I would like to reintroduce my two sons. Magni and Modi. Let's go ahead and reshare this art. So, very large Modi flanked by smaller Magni. The two of them sort of smile and wave their hands at the both of you. Thor looks down and says, there's an abandoned Dwarven mine near a mountainous, hilly region, maybe 2 or 3 hours outside of Fjordalith. Really, there is not much to be found here aside from a few lost magical items or treasures. Odin's idea was Cecily, with her new powers, would like a safe way to test them out, to test the full extent of those powers. And, as far as any scouting is concluded, it would seem as though it might be the best way to do so. There's some undead that exist within them, and some odd creations, but nothing too dangerous. And as added precaution, just in case anything should go wrong, my two sons, Magni and Modi, will be going with you. What they... I like to jest, what they lack in smarts, they make up for in strength, the both of them. They'll be traveling with you. However, they'll be going in through a smaller cavern, and you'll be entering through the main gates. And you'll sort of work in a pincer movement, meeting in the middle. Hoping to clear out the entire mine, reclaim the resources that were lost there, and any magical items or gold you find along the way, you can keep for yourself. As soon as Odin arrives, he'll send you out, and you'll be well on your way.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Oh, good. If I'm being frank, I was a little nervous that you'd be a little more apprehensive, but good to hear you're on board. I do have one question, just a curiosity. Which one of you were,
He kind of looks around the room. Which one of you are the ones that salted Loki's wine?
Suni will proudly give a big smile, and he will say, "That would be me."
You know, it's not very often that someone pulls a fast one on him, but the look on his face last night. I think he was complaining about how he couldn't get the taste of salt out of his mouth all morning.
Sadly, I did not get to see the fruit of my labor on that one, but I'm glad to know that it was well received by everyone but him.
I mean, if I'm being completely honest, I was about a half point away from Odero, so I missed most of it too, but from what I remember, it was quite funny, so
Thank you.
of course. Well, and about that point, these thumping of footsteps coming up the stairs as Odin arrives and looks to all of you with a smile and says,
I'm very sorry for keeping all of you waiting. I don't like to be late. Just get a little caught up. Loki had some things he wished to talk with me about. Apparently there was some salting of some wine last night, and I told him to, frankly, suck it up. After all the pranks he plays on those around him, it's only fair that someone pulls one on him. He didn't necessarily think the same way, but he's seeing things a little more straight now than he was before. Well, Thor, I believe you've told them everything. Yes, Father, I have, Father. Just as you requested. Good. Proud of you, my boy.
Thor kind of looks down at the ground with a small smile on his face.
So, there's one last thing that I wanted to tell you myself. And, well, I realize how busy you've been since you've arrived, and I haven't had a chance to talk to some of you that I'd like to. Ashima, for example. There's so much I wish to know about the Loshari and your rites and the Book of the Five Harmonies. There's so much I want to know, but sadly it's rather important that you go on this mission, being as close as you are with Cecily. Just from... If I remember some of the breathing techniques from what I've read, I feel like I've already noticed some of those in her. It seems as though you've been instrumental in helping her control her powers thus far.
Even the wisest gardener respects the audacity of the stone.
That they do. However, there's one person in your midst that I am just dying to talk to. You see, I've had many relations, a trading of information with the Goliaths of Cuin Dilar. But, well, frankly, Keothi, it's not very often that I get a Goliath with hair in our midst, and if I recall correctly, this is, well, this is a rare occurrence, is it not?
Keothi kind of smiles and says,
Well, yes, actually, it's very rare. I was just told when I was made and I was gifted breath by the Mother of Mountains that, well, I was gifted. They raised me to the best of their ability in Clan Anakalathai. Those are the knowledge bearers, correct? The scribes. Oh, that is correct. You are very right. I can see your studying has done you well. Thank you. Yes, but yes, when I was old enough, about 75, they believed I was ready to head off into the world. So, I went off and I started to explore, going from place to place, learning information and scribing as I went. Ah, that's very interesting. And, well, I'd love to know more. And so I'd truly... Well, I have to be honest. I wanted to try and break this to you lightly, but, well, word travels fast when you are around the Allfather. I received a message from the Hearthstone. Keothi. I actually have the letter here.
and he reaches into a small bag and pulls out a very, very thick rolled piece of parchment. seal still on it, and seal unbroken, as far as you can tell.
I didn't dare to open it, but it bears the sigil of the Hearthstone. And the letter was addressed to you.
Here. Hands it to her. She looks at him with a quizzical look on her face and kind of cracks open the letter and begins to read it to herself.
Oh. Oh. That is very interesting.
What does it say?
Well, it's a summons. A summons to go home.
But why? What for?
Well, very rarely do the clans ever unite on anything. The Anakalotha, the Shaika, the Katha Olavai, they very rarely ever agree on anything. But they all agreed to send me out. And I've been out now for... it doesn't seem like a long time to me, but... Well, I'm 75 is when I left. And in your years, I believe now I would be 95? I guess 20 years is quite some time. They're summoning me back. They wish to know what I've learned. And they wish to tell me something that they should have told me before I left. I think they may know something about the Kalukatho. Maybe I'm not the only one. I mean, of course, Suni, you are one as well, but maybe there's more than just me. Maybe they know where they are, and now that I've proven myself, that I've explored, that I've seen these things, they'll...
And you can see her just glow with happiness.
Maybe they can tell me where they're at.
Wait, does this mean you're... When do they want you?
There's no date on here, but whenever the clans get together and agree on something, it doesn't mean when you can. It typically means as soon as you can.
Well, we can go with you, right? As soon as we're done with what we need to do, we can go with you.
Oh, Desmond, Suni, I'm sorry, but you can't. It is ancient, sacred traditions and magic that bars all of those except for the descendants of giants from entering the Hearthstone.
Can't leave us, Kyo. I'm sorry, No, I just told myself I was done being selfish. That's really stupid. I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry.
it's okay. I just, well, think, if I go back, there's a chance that if they're telling me more about the Kalakatha, they could tell me more about, about the problems we're running into, and maybe more about the war in Bromsgrove. Maybe in a way to help those people. You know what I mean?
I think we do.
If anyone would know, it would be the elders. They are more wise, and they are the smartest people I know. If anyone knows a way to help, it would be them. And they want me back. They want to tell me something. This could be a chance to get an advantage on this situation.
But you'll come back, right?
Oh, of course I will. I have to get the information to you somehow, and
Yeah.
sending won't do. I have to deliver it in person. That's only what makes sense.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the rule.
That's the rule. You're right. And she kind of stops and she says, I will say, but if none of you, if any of you, you all mean, you all mean more to me than I've ever cared about anyone. So if you want me to stay, I'll stay. I just really feel like this could help.
You have to go. And that's okay.
At about that
It'll
point,
have to.
Sorry, finish your.
No, I was just going to say, it'll have to be, was the last thing he said.
At about that point, Bianca, you would return hearing sort of the tail end of this conversation. And you sort of get an idea of what's being said. You are studious enough to recognize the different symbols on the letter that Keothi's holding in her hands and could probably piece together what's being said.
I don't want to go, but I feel like it could really help.
I don't want you to go either. But we know what we have to do. And we know what's most important. And if this is going to help, then that's what you have to do. But Bianca saying that and getting a little teary-eyed.
Oh, no, don't cry. You'll make me cry. I promise I'll be back as soon as I can. I promise.
Okay. And could you just send a message to my family letting them know everything whenever you have time?
Of course. I'll send it out before I leave.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Keothi kind of looks down to each one of you. This massive woman sort of towering over the top of all of you. She says,
I love all of you very much. Morwen, Carasilla, I know we haven't known each other for as long as I've known them, but you are truly some amazing people. And I'm very honored to have spent the past few months of my life with all of you. I know that I will be back because now that I have gotten a taste for adventuring, I don't want to turn my back on it forever. So I'm not going to say goodbye, because that wouldn't be right. But instead, I'm going to give each and every single one of you a very, very tight hug, and you're just going to have to deal with it, okay? Even you, Cecily.
I'll be honest, Kyo. Past couple of dudes who told me they'd be back real soon, I still got a bit of an issue with them.
Well, those two were both guys, and I'm not. So I think that at least puts some favor in my court, right?
Sure. I can go with that.
And with that, Keothi will kind of go up to each one of you, give you a very, very tight hug as you're lifted like 8 feet up off the ground, squeezing into you, setting you down, picking up another one, squeezing, setting down. And she looks to all of you one last time and says,
I promise you, whatever I find, I promise you I'll make it worth it.
We know. And we'll see you later.
Indeed you will. I guarantee it.
Light guide your way, Keothi.
And may the Mother of Mountains embrace you, Morwen.
Walk in harmony, Keothi. We will see you soon.
that she smiles, takes a step back from the 6 of you. So with that, Magni and Modi step near the 6 of you. And Odin looks down towards all of you and says,
Very well, then. Keothi, I will see that your people are reached out to, so you may have safe transportation to the Hearthstone. And all of you, you will be transported directly to the mines. Magni and Modi will inform me when you've finished, and I will bring you back here. And then, as soon as you get back, Cecily, you and I believe all of your friends have earned looking into the inner sanctum of this temple. You've shown all of the desirable traits, even if one of them is being a little too inquisitive. But these are all things that make a worthy ally. Well, I wish all 8 of you the best of luck. In the dungeon, in the mine.
Can we see who that inquisitive line was directed at?
just at all of you.
I guess inside. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just kind of a general gaze at all of you.
Thank God.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah. Okay. So with that, Odin raises up his hand, Magni and Modi standing next to you, and reaches his hand up and pulls it down. And in the same way that it had worked before, bolts of lightning cling towards the ground, and all of you teleport, vanishing and appearing outside. The cold weather surrounding you, winds whipping into your face, as you are standing outside of a mountain, standing on the fully repaired half, or standing on the still standing half of a broken bridge, standing in front of 2 large wooden doors. as right there, we're going to take a very, very quick 5-minute break. I understand we're about a half an hour away from our end time, but I need to use the restroom painfully bad. So we're gonna take a quick break right there, and then we'll be right back after those 5 minutes. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Defen, thank you so much for watching, and we'll be right back. I thought you were pausing with dramatic effect, but it just turns out that we couldn't hear you.
Evan is lost in time as well.
Well, I thought of a question, so maybe we can retcon that, and Bianca can pipe up and ask hers while Evan
Okay.
figures out his
All right.
crap.
Oh,
Oh, there he is.
Oh, wait.
Ah!
Oh, no.
Oh no, he's gone again! Oh, there he is. Okay, where he's back. It's all good.
Betty.
You don't mind. You got some of that spittle in your beard again. It all froze.
I didn't know what I'm doing with me
Oh, no, I'm just saying.
All that.
A little
There's no
messy.
reason to
Why is
cause
it
a
so dark?
fuss.
Do
I'm
you
gonna-
brush? Is that blood? You just spit blood?
Clip, please, clip. I know what I'm doing with me spill.
Literally.
Sounds sticky as well.
No. Grot can't be hot, bothered, and sticky because that has a different meaning. And
Whoops.
I can't let that happen on stream. So, I will say that as you are,
So, first strike.
oh, natural 20, nice.
I'll roll for the second attack then. 2 dice. Yay.
What the fuck,
That.
dude? Oh
Okay.
my god.
I think
This
the
maybe-
Medusa is dead.
When shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the hurly-burly's done, when the battle's lost and won.
That which be ere the set of sun.
Where the place?
Upon the heath.
There to meet with MacElren.
I come, Greymalkin.
Paddock calls.
Anon!
Fair is foul, and foul is fair. Hover through the falls and filth the air.
He needs to do. Is it talking back to you, Lapis?
I'm listening, and I'm attempting to absorb any energy it wants to release. You can release your energy now.
Oh, no, we don't want things releasing their energy. Let's be careful about that. Seen weirder things. Well, we can't exactly go back the way we came.
I don't know what I can roll, Mark, but can I roll? Okay.
Is that
And Alec will, punch Fardas in the shoulder.
Ow.
Vera wants to talk to us.
Yeah, I heard. I'm sitting right here.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's go.
We
And
will
Alec
go.
will go.
Oh man. Okay. Zero deaths.
He really is a fine mess for me if you die and don't live.
Zero deaths. You hear that? Zero deaths. I'm just reloading a save. Forgot I needed something.
Right, yeah.
Give him another thumbs up and wink.
You know, people often think that's hard to do, but it's easier every time.
Acting is the easiest job on the planet. Nothing to it.
Oh,
All right.
so goofy.
Well, I don't want to waste any time. I'm gonna go and sit by the river. I just think best out there.
What do you mean saying about my fucking lad?
I haven't said anything that wasn't true.
What is that?
How
I thought you were a bit of... I thought you were afraid of many things, even though you pretend.
Oh God! Is everyone good today? Like, are we good?
This
You guys have spent the past hour saying, "Let's see. All right. Well, I got these magic candies here, and where's the water on the ship?"
It's everywhere. It's under the boat.
Drink the salt water for all I care. Just do something.
Bianca would probably talk to either Morin and Carousel.
What the fuck?
Oh my god.
What?
Oh my god.
The fuck is happening?
That's
How
bullshit, Joe.
How the fuck
That's
that
bullshit.
happen?
That's bullshit.
Do you still have inspiration?
You do! You do!
Use your
You
Christmas
do!
inspiration.
Use your Christmas
Use your
inspiration!
Christmas
You need to
inspiration.
use that inspiration. Oh my god.
I want to use the inspiration. That's bullshit.
You just roll the one, you just roll the one, you just roll the one. It gives you a reroll. It's like a point of luck.
I can't reroll both of them.
No, you can't reroll both of them! Just a normal roll.
Are you fucking kidding me? Joe, no. Throw it out. Throw it out. I call a fucking foul. A fucking call a foul.
So,
we're gonna attack
alas-
the pretty cove.
Oh gee, must have slipped my mind.
I mean, I'm trying to quit too. You know, it's like, you know, it's just not. It's you know, it's. All right, hello everybody. We are back. I'm gonna go ahead and undeafen myself on the Discord. And hello, we are back.
Well,
Bum, bum,
well.
Bum bum bum. Bum bum. All right. So with that, actually, I need to move us to the battle map screen here.
Oh.
Are we already fighting?
Bum bum bum.
Of course we are.
So let me go ahead and pause time here, as I'm gonna move all of you here. All right.
Oh, it's dark.
Yes. Yes. Oh wait, that's right. Ashima, you need vision. That's what you need. God, I always forget that. Jesus Christ. Actually,
I'm the blind one.
Here's what I'll do. I'm gonna give you a torch. Boom.
Thank you.
There you go.
There we go. It's a map.
Yes. Alrighty. So as all of you enter, Magni and Modi are currently standing behind you, and you can see all the way down here, maybe about 45, 50 feet, there's a small ledge. And the two of them look to one another, and they kind of both start speaking at the same time and sort of trip over each other's words until eventually Magni speaks up, this higher, more nasally voice. Says, so, what we're going to do is we're going to go down there, and like one of those hands on a crab, we're gonna kind of go up, you go top, we go bottom, and then we meet in the middle, and, I think he's talking about a pincer, like a claw of a crab. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So we're gonna move like that, and then we'll meet in the middle. All right?
That sounds good.
Crabs are aquatic. A scorpion would work much better as an analogy. Simply my observation.
But don't scorpions only have the tails with poison in them?
What? No, they got the little grabby things on the front.
No, don't think so.
Oh my god. Alright, well, yeah, no, let's go ahead and claw to the middle. Cecily's gonna turn around to the rest of the group and just be making like an "are you fucking kidding me" face to everyone else.
Oshima will poke his nose forward and say, "Don't forget to go sideways."
Sideways?
Never mind.
All right. No, oh no, I know what you mean. Sideways. I completely understand what you're saying. You got it. All right, Mori. You heard him. Sideways and pincer.
All right. I can do that. I think.
Yeah. All right. Let's go. And the two of them, they both kind of jump, and you can see them kind of effortlessly float down, landing onto the ledge as they head into the narrow entrance right there, leaving the six of you free to move into the area.
As soon as they're out of earshot, Cecily's gonna shake her head and say, "Guys, I don't want a family anymore."
Ashim will is there a bit of an echo in here, Joe?
Outside where you're at, no, you haven't walked in yet.
Okay, I'll reserve my comments then. Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty.
So we get going then.
Yeah. Might as well get this over quick. I don't know what new powers he's talking about anyway. Nothing feels different. Except I'm breathing slower. Is that normal? Should I be breathing slower?
Like more relaxed? Yeah, that's good.
Could be because of the altitude.
And Cecily's gonna just kind of examine herself and be like, am I relaxed? Holy shit, I think I'm relaxed. How am I relaxed right now? This has been like the worst week of my life.
Maybe don't think about it too hard, otherwise you might lose that relaxedness.
I'm gonna have to agree with that.
You know what? You're right. I can already feel it going away. Okay, we're back. Okay, well. Whoever wants to do the honors of checking if the door is locked.
So you can see one of the doors is still standing, but the other one is kind of cracked and broken off to the side a little bit. So you can peer through just a little bit and see the sort of immediate chamber.
At Morwen's comment, Cecily's gonna be like, look, I'm not that much smarter than them, okay?
Bard just throws her hands like, alright.
Ashima will loudly say, I wonder which of them is the stronger. And he'll volunteer to go ahead and peek through the door.
I like what you just did, Connor. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, meta, let's try and exhaust them.
Okay, so with that, I mean, you have the freedom to move yourselves, and also nice. You can click on the doors to just open them.
Oh! Oh, yes.
Intuitive, yeah. Now, I will say, it may disorient you a little bit. I did change the grid to hexes. So, if you're wondering why your character is moving a little funky, it's because it's not like a grid with squares, it's a grid with hexes.
Oh, yeah. My WASD is,
Wow. Diagonal movement. Just gonna dance.
Well, Cecily will get there-ish. I'm just waiting for the next door to get opened. She has learned at this point that the spellcaster should probably not be in the front.
Okay.
Right. Joe, does there look like there's any in this corridor? Do we see like anything on the walls? Is there anything insignificant?
Thank you for.
I got excited. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's been a bit.
Yeah. So
refresh my foundry. It's being weird. Give me a hot minute.
Yeah, here I'll move Carasilla up a little bit so she's not stuck behind. So before you make your way in there, Stay out. So as you are moving through this first corridor, you can see that the walls are engraved. All of them have generally the same few symbols over and over and over again. Each brick or piece of cobbled stone engraved with a symbol. Now, my question is, does anybody here speak Dwarvish?
I don't think I do.
Big nope.
Does.
I do have comprehend languages, though. I don't know it, but I can if you give me like 10 minutes.
That's a nifty ability.
I mean, are we in a huge hurry? Do we want to read what it says? 'Cause I'm fine with 10 minutes.
I don't know the spell slot. I just feel like I should be a bit more.
Yeah, and I'm cool with the 10
use
minutes.
We're not in a haste.
Yeah.
Hey, if we're taking 10 minutes... No, I'm not going to do that. Never mind.
Okay.
Okay.
It would feel out of place to do it now.
Yeah, I think we have the time.
Alrighty. So you take the 10 minutes then, Carasilla, to ritual cast, or 11 minutes, I guess, or 10 minutes and 6 seconds to cast. To cast
languages, yes.
Yeah. Alrighty. So as you ritual cast, just taking a moment, focusing, breathing, using your bardic magic, eventually you do feel some clarity come as you can now interpret the runes all along the wall. You can tell that most of them are in Dwarvish, which is a fairly common language, but it's a little archaic. It not even just a little, it's very archaic. It has very crude roots, and it is almost this combination of, now that you can like sort of dissect it using comprehend languages, it has giant influences to it. Giant and draconic, celestial and abyssal kind of being the 4 base languages that everything else is sort of sprouted from. As you see the roots there with giant, you can see that all of the different symbols here, they pretty much mean one of two things. They either mean fate or light. And every single rune inscribed on every piece of brick, cobblestone, anything is just a different variation of that symbol or of those 2 words.
I mean, for how varied they all seem to be, it all seems to connect to either being fate or light. So I suppose nothing to be too scared of, which is good.
Yeah, that's some of the best runes we've run into.
Yes, that's the way of putting it, yeah. Well, they said there'd be undead here, right? I don't think we should feel too bad about killing undead things, no matter where we are, right?
Yeah.
Really killing if they're undead?
Returning them to the ether is one of the only acts of ending a life that I tolerate.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Ashima says we can fuck these dudes up.
Yep. And
that is not what I said, but yes.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the Sunnian translation.
It's true.
Okay. So, with that, knowing what you know about the runes, what is inscribed on them, you may proceed forward.
Onward.
So, making your way forward, opening the doors, Morwen being the first to step through, you step into a throne room. You can see that in this room it is a very, very long corridor with 2 double doors on each side near the front of the room. You can also see, although it's dark, and although your dark vision range doesn't exactly go that far, I believe, you can just barely see at the edges of your vision a throne at the very end of the room.
Huh. Look at that. She'll walk in just like a little bit further, but not too far.
Okay. So, as you see the throne at the end of the room, as everyone begins to move through, presume? Let's go ahead and move you in carousel.
Yeah.
Just getting in, it just needs to load the map now.
Is anyone else's game paused?
No.
Yeah, mine's not.
What about?
Oh wow, I just
Mine's
flew
paused as
forward.
well.
That was weird.
Well,
All right,
I
well.
moved you.
Odin!
So this is the throne room, right?
Yeah, you can see at the very opposite end of the room here, there is a throne on this sort of end side down here. And, well, Bianca, you're the one with the really far dark vision. You can see on top of it, there is a small bit of weathered parchment.
We all should go look at that weathered parchment.
As all of you begin to approach, Bianca sort of leading the way, seeing the parchment, pointing it out, you all can see the closer you get, the more of these corpses seem to be littering the ground. There was very obviously some type of battle that happened here. And there was quite a bloody aftermath. The corpses are decomposed, but for as ancient as this place seems, Bianca, the corpses don't seem as old as you really thought they would be.
Yeah, that's weird.
So I'd like
Are they
everybody
even
to, as Felicity's asking this, I'd like everybody to move your tokens to where you think they'd be as you're getting closer and closer to the throne.
Just gonna.
and this is supposed to be a dwarvish mine, right?
Correct.
Are they even dwarves?
Yes, all of the corpses here, aside from a few, are dwarves. Some of them are humanoid, you can tell, but most of them are dwarves.
While we're
There.
walking, Suni will kind of take a breath in through his nose and cast Divine Sense just to see if any of these corpses are undead. So within 60 feet of me, I can sense any fiends, celestials, or undead that is not behind total cover.
Okay, so you are able to sense a few. However, you can tell that they are dormant.
Okay.
So let me go ahead and... Where you can tell that they are living corpses, but for some reason they're in almost like a hibernation, almost. And you sense those. Let me go ahead and mark them on your little map here. Mark them in black, fill, no fill, configure default. So you can sense one right here, right here, right here, right here, right here, and right here.
Suni will kind of quietly point out these locations and will say, I'm sensing of these corpses are undead, but it's like they're hibernating or something. I don't know what that means, but it's these 6 right here.
Maybe we should use that orb of light, in advance. Just getting the room well lit.
hurt. Especially since I get the sense they're gonna come to life at some point.
Well, hopefully, if we don't disturb them, they won't.
I'll just have it at the ready. And yeah, Cecily will get the globe. What's it? Drift globe? Is that what it's called? Yeah, the drift globe. She'll have it ready to cast.
Are we allowed to have our weapons at this point, or are we still like in the no weapon area?
No, you guys definitely can have your weapons. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
so
only
I assume
inside the walls of Fjordal.
Okay. I assume that on the way they were dispersed, but if not, Suni has the bag of holding and he will bring it around to everybody like Santa Claus and give them their presents. 1 for you, and 2 for you.
It's like Narnia.
Nice.
And nothing for Cecily.
And nothing for Cecily. None for Gretchen Wieners.
Just like every year.
Oh my god.
Wow.
So, did we get to read this paper yet?
Not yet, no.
We're not there yet.
Well, I got the globe. Who wants to do the honors of walking somewhere in the midst of everything?
I'll do it.
There we go.
Just want me to grab that piece of parchment right there, like pointing at it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you
More
sure
and
we
we'll...
want to grab it? I feel
mean-
there's a lot of time that's passed since it would have been placed there. Not sure what could be on it, but
You
do
think
we
it's a
want to be more
trap?
cautious about this? I am not sure.
I mean, any of these things we're stepping on could be a trap.
Are you worried about it being a trap, or are you worried about it falling apart because it's old?
Also the first, but again, it's only, I guess, caution. I'm not sure if it would be or not.
I mean, Cecily, do you want to grab it with your mage hand?
I could try that, yeah. And I will.
Interestingly enough, the mage hand, as soon as it goes to hit the paper, the mage hand is dispelled.
Oh.
Ooh.
Okay, gang. We got a magical booby trap piece of paper there.
Did it go away like right when it was about to touch the paper, or was there like an area around the throne that made it disappear?
No, it was specifically contact with the paper.
Okay.
Well, I guess we just gotta look real close at it and read it without touching it then.
I guess we could try that.
Carasilla, I mean, it might be in the same language if you want to give it a
I
go.
will say that if I'm to read it, I need to be able to touch it first.
Will your spell even work if it's
Oh, yeah.
anti-magic? Well, let's see what language it's in first. I mean, I can't read any of them, so it's not for me either way, but...
Okay, Bianca's gonna get just a little closer and see. She's not gonna touch the paper. I don't even know where the paper's at. But she's just gonna see if there's a language on it, like, or what's written on it, or whatever. Is it on the throne itself?
Yeah, it's sitting on the seat. And you can see that it is... well, it's rather dusty, so there is writing on it, but it's a little hard to decipher what's ever on there because it's just, there's so much dust caked on top.
And I'm assuming blowing on it doesn't really get as much off as
It gets a little bit off. You can tell that there's writing, and you can tell that it's in the same script as what was on the walls.
Okay, it does look like whatever was on the walls, so I won't be able to read it anyway. Do you want to try, Carasilla?
Well, couldn't hurt, I suppose. If it didn't trigger anything with Cecily's mage hand, then well, I'm
And
willing to give it a
we'll
shot.
have your back while you're doing that.
I would hope
and-
so.
Soon he's gonna position himself like between the throne and this one undead that's right here. Just making sure to watch all of the ones on this side.
Before she does anything, she's gonna try and, since it's caked in dust, can she prestidigitate away the dust? Does that work?
No, magic doesn't work on it.
Okay, okay. Well, I'm guessing what's gonna happen, but she's gonna try and read it.
Okay. So it's you can kind of get like maybe every sixth word without actually picking it up and sort of brushing off the dust.
Yeah, I will say, just for comprehend languages to work, if it's written in text, I have to be touching the surface that it's written on.
Okay. All right. So with that, you pick up the piece of paper and you brush off the dust and nothing happens. But you are able to comprehend what is written on here. It's in the same language. It's in Dawi. It is written in a rushed manner. And it says, "This statement hereby dissolves the order of the Amaranthine exiles, formed by Enlil Bani, Radiant Lord of the Dawi, Laufey, leader of the Giants, and Arayomlo, have broken ties and will serve themselves as opposed to each other."
Could have just been reading it out loud as she was reading it.
So as you say, Enlil, Bani, Laufey, and Arayomlo, picking up the paper, reading those words out loud, you can see the paper slowly begin to crumple as it just begins to dissolve, as whatever was holding it together fades away as the paper crumbles. And Ashima, Cecily, Suni, Carasilla, being so close to those X's, you can see slowly beginning to rise these dwarvish forms, ghastly and undead, as they rise, each one wielding 2 axes that seems to come to life with necrotic energy, as they just groan and say,
"Must serve the Radiant Lord,"
as they begin to move towards you. That is where we're going to go ahead and end tonight's session.
Oh my god.
Yeah. All right, let me go ahead and send in some things here in the chat.
You
So
also give us the names.
yes, that's what I was. That's what I was going
Yeah.
to say. Send in the chat. I understand because one of these names is it's based off of like a Sumerian name, so I understand that might be a little hard to kind of phonetically write down based off of what I say.
There's gaps in my notes.
Radiant.
Yeah, I think about every other word of what was read made any sense to me, so.
Okay, so there was
Dawi
Enlil,
is far north. Okay.
Yeah.
Enlil, Radiant Lord of the Dawi. Oh, Radiant spelled wrong. Whoops, sorry, that's my bad. Then there is Laufey, leader of the Giants. And then there is Arayomlo, which has no moniker at all. It is just the name.
Speaks for himself.
These are all really good names, though.
Thank you.
I really like Laufey.
Yeah. And then the last one is the Order of the Amaranthine Exiles. All right.
Damn. I managed to guess that pretty correctly, except with a E instead of an A for the first letter.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Which, by the way, amaranthine is actually a real word. It's one of my favorite words. That means unending without end, or like a light pink hue. That's, yeah.
Aw.
Cute.
Yeah. I like amaranthine a lot. It's a good one. Alrighty. So, thank you all so much for tuning in and watching. I hope that you enjoyed our little doer of a session here. I know I did. If you would like to see me more, make sure you follow so that way you can come back next Tuesday as they fight some. These are called Draugr, by the way. Oh, hell yeah. Gonna really embrace the Norse
Hell
undead. Gonna fight some Draugr, and we'll have to see if they are the God of War variation or if they're the Skyrim variation. So,
Or something else entirely.
maybe. Or tune in next Friday for the Explorers of Ephera as they duel Mordekash, the greatest swordsman of the Abyss and a Rakshasha. Or on Saturday for the continuation of the Isles of Iverion as they delve into an ancient, ruinous library on a wood elf, high elf, dragonborn island. It's some good stuff. I'm very excited.
We're all in trouble.
Yep. Yeah. Everybody's running into some combat and everybody's running into some hard times right now. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Like I said, I know I did. And I hope that you have a great rest of your morning, afternoon, whatever it is, and we will see you next time. Farewell.
Peace.